Hi guys, Pete Mazaris, the home inspector mentor, here to talk to you about some operating philosophies. So in the free business startup kit that I have available for you guys, I have a operations manual, which I started to put together as I started to get more and more inspectors on my team, because it allowed me to, number one, share my operating philosophy so that everybody, um, could internalize it, plus document our procedures. When we how we do certain things, how we go through the inspections and so forth. So that's all available to you guys. So I'm going to start pulling some pieces out of it to talk to you on these videos, so that we, or at least I can continue to uh, underline the importance of some of these things that I feel was important to my success, as well as my continuing success and my inspector success out in the marketplace. So one of the first tenets of that philosophy is that we treat and approach every inspection with the mentality that we have for customers. Okay, now I know the buyer is our number one customer. It's who we have a fiduciary um, responsibility to. And with that said, there's no reason why we can't also play nice with the other three main players in that transaction, which of course by now you should know that it's the seller, the seller's agent, and the buyer's agent, right? So that makes up our four perceived customers at every home inspection. And so there's a way to run your business with that philosophy in mind, okay? Because there's no reason not to be conversational or helpful to those other three customers in the transaction. Your primary customer is the buyer, okay? But why not treat every inspection like those other parties are, your customer as well? And so how do I mean by that? Well, obviously the buyer's agent is, front and center and most likely present at the inspection. If you don't already know that agent, it's your opportunity to meet that agent and let them see how you perform your job, which hopefully or eventually, is going to be best in class, because you've been paying attention and focusing on improving your process to achieve excellence at what you do. And that's, in the technical realm, it's in the communication realm, it's in the reporting realm, and it's your on-site efficiency. And so that buyer's agent now sees how you are, um, how you conduct the inspection, how thorough you are, and how friendly and conversational you are. And, you don't overtalk things, you're not alarming people. You are helpful to the client in explaining, if they're interested, how something can be repaired, and maybe what a cost range is, and perhaps, what could happen if they don't pay attention to it. Of course, you're not telling the agent the buyer, what they should be going back to the client or to the seller with negotiations, even if they ask you. Okay, you always defer to their realtor, because realtors don't like when you know, tell the buyer, even the buyer asks you, what they should negotiate with. So some realtors get really upset over it, and so it's no skin off of our back as the inspectors. You simply say, well, you should, talk that over with your agent. I'm here to tell you the significance or potential significance from a cost impact standpoint, so you can make that decision with them. And so anyway, so we play nice with the agent, and we should be able to, pick up future referrals from that agent because they see how we take care of their customer. Okay. And people want to refer service providers that take care of their clients. Um, and that's important to them because it makes them look good, right? And, it's part of our job. If we get referred by an agent, let's do such a great job that, that buyer is, eternally grateful to us for being thorough and good at what we do, even though they paid us to do that. It's our job. But that agent then, hears back from the client and thanks them for, recommending us, which is great because now you're reinforced in that agent's mind as a, good service provider that, they want to refer to future clients. And so that's obvious. Okay. We should all know that by now um, with regard to the buyer's agent. But, you know, a lot of us don't recognize that the seller and the seller's agent are other opportunities for business. Okay, that seller typically is going to be buying another house in that market, and they need a home inspector too, probably. And if they see how thorough and fair you are or were in the reporting of the inspection on their own house, then chances are they'll want to hire you. I can't tell you how many times I've had sellers contact me to say, hey, you guys did such a great job inspecting my house, found things that my original inspector never found, that I want to hire you for this next house I'm buying. And so that's great because a lot of times we don't know the listing agent who turns out to be their buyer's agent in the future. So we get a double exposure, so to speak, because that seller, has that listing agent as their agent to find their next house, and then we get to meet face to face with that listing agent or a buyer's agent on that listing agent's team. And so as we perform our job and maybe we have exposure directly with the seller or the seller's agent, then we should be professional and helpful for them. Obviously we're working for the buyer and there's a limit to, how much we want to, divulge to the seller without getting ourselves in trouble with the buyer. But there's no reason why we can't be courteous and helpful. If a buyer goes back to the seller and says, hey, I want this fixed, it's in the report, and then the seller calls you to get clarification, there's no reason to be defensive, unless the seller's belligerent. And, my opinion or, my modus of operandi when it comes to belligerent people, I don't care who you are, you're not going to talk to me that way. And I'm not going to be helpful to you. But most people are going to, want to reach out to you for help, especially the seller, okay? And help them. Why not? And it's a good reflection on you. Might give you more business in the future for free. What did it cost you? Your time. And the same with the listing agent. No reason not to be helpful and courteous to that listing agent, so that someday they get enough exposures to us in the marketplace, we get on their list. So the philosophy, you have 4 customers at every inspection. I mean, you have a fiduciary responsibility to the buyer, but our job is really to uncover the truth. I mean, we want what we report to be what the house condition is. Okay, nothing more, nothing less. And so we can accomplish that, but we can always look at the inspection that we have for customers, because at the end of the day, we work for ourselves. Okay, we work for ourselves. Our job is to continue to build a business by establishing a great reputation in the marketplace so that we get word of mouth referrals from not only past clients, but also from agents. So hope everybody is doing well and that this was helpful. Thanks.